Hey guys, all right, let's get started. The very first lesson I want to cover today is what people want. If you asked me a long time ago what people want, I would have just said, well, people just want cheaper prices. And the truth is, I mean, if that was true, then Louis Vuitton and Apple wouldn't be billion-dollar companies or trillion-dollar companies. So, in order to understand copywriting, you have to first start with the fundamentals, the basics. What do people want in life? What makes them happy? So that's what this lesson is all about. So we want to cover what people want, and we also want to show how you can transition to how your product, whatever you're offering, can help fulfill one of their core desires. So the simplest framework you can use to understand what people want is what's called the Life Force 8. So I got this from the book Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. So I highly recommend you guys purchase that book. So here are the 8 things that people want in life. Number 1, survival, enjoyment of life, living longer. Number 2, enjoyment of food and beverages. So you guys ever want to hang out with me, buy me a food. Like, I'll come. I love food. Number 3, freedom from fear, pain, and danger. 4, sexual companionship. 5, comfortable living conditions. And this is where it starts getting really interesting. 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. 7, care and protection of loved ones. 8, social approval. So what's really interesting is just looking at each of these, I can just see where different verticals, like which verticals can really tackle one of these desires. So for example, care and protection of loved ones, I'm thinking that definitely is a core desire of life insurance. When I see something like comfortable living conditions, you could tie home warranties or real estate offers into that. So do you guys see what I'm talking about? Like something like life insurance, you can't really tie life insurance into sexual companionship. However, sexual companionship, you can tackle that if you're promoting like a pickup artist offer, or if you're promoting a dating offer. So that's one way of looking at things. If you have an offer, which of these 8, or it could be multiple ones. So here's an example. Let's look at these 2 handbags. The one on the left is a generic handbag that I found online that retails for $75. The one on the right is a Louis Vuitton handbag that retails for $3,550. And what's interesting is the one on the left is still for sale. You can buy it right now if you wanted to. The one on the right, the Louis Vuitton, it's sold out. It's out of stock. You can't buy it even if you wanted to unless you go to like eBay or something. So I'm a dude, right? And I think like 97% of you guys in the course are dudes as well. And it's very interesting because for the longest time, I could never understand psychologically why some people would spend like, I don't know what the math is, but like 1,000 times more percent on this handbag on the right than the left, because they look the same to me. Like they're just red handbags. And it doesn't matter if it's Louis Vuitton or a Gucci, it still holds your phone, your makeup, your wallet the same. So this was before I really understood marketing. So what's the difference? Which of these Life Force 8 does this fill? So that's kind of like the first, whenever I come up with angles or offers and I really want to sit down and think about it, I look at this chart, the Life Force 8. Which one of these does it fill? So here's what I noticed. With this one, it falls into number 4, number 6, and number 8. So number 8 is very relatively simple because I've dated girls that are really into handbags, and a big part of it is by having like a really nice handbag, it shows everyone. If there might be. Have you guys seen the movie Mean Girls? Like there are certain cliques, certain clubs. So maybe some clubs, like a country club or something like that, everyone has a Louis Vuitton or a Chanel or Hermes. So you come walking in with your Walmart bag, then they might gossip, or they might not include you in the social circle. So by having the bag, it gives social approval. So that's one. Number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. So that's another big one, because Some people might feel the need to show that they're better than others or more financially successful than others. And for guys, we do it through what? Cars, right? We do it through cars or maybe a well-tailored suit or a watches. Like guys love watches. But women in this regards, one of them is having a really nice handbag because let's say a woman has a nice handbag and there's a girl that she doesn't like and that girl has a Kmart bag or whatever. She can think, "Oh yeah, I'm better than this woman." So that's number 6. Number 4, sexual companionship. So what does a handbag have to do with sexual companionship? Well, I don't know. What if this girl likes to date or wants to target really rich guys, and she assumes that really rich guys only mess with girls who are also like elite and have a lot of status themselves. So in a way, this she could convince herself or rationalize it that hey, by buying this handbag, it can help me find my dream man. It can help me find a compatible mate. You know, sexual companionship could easily bleed into like a soulmate because you know not every girl is like out for hookups. So you see what happens? Like it's by tapping into these different life force eights, that allows you to have an insane profit margin and increase the marketability. So this is a chart I saw a few years ago that I really like. It really simplifies marketing. There's someone who's a potential customer, there's your product, and then by combining, if this person buys your product, they're instantly going to buy success or they're instantly going to become who they want to become. So another great example is, and I'll cover this later on, is you know, I remember when I was 18 years old, I was working at a gas station, and man, dude, I didn't make shit at the gas station. All right, I made like $8 an hour, and I knew another girl that also made $8 an hour. She was my coworker, and I remember one day she came in with a Louis Vuitton, and I didn't know what the heck a Louis Vuitton was, and my boss was like, "Holy crap, you bought a Louis Vuitton," and she was like beaming, glowing, really proud of it, and I was like, "What's so special about Louis Vuitton?" And he goes, "Dude, that's like $1,000 handbag." So for me, I mean, I made the same money as she did, and I just couldn't fathom saving up an entire month just for a handbag. And that's when I realized, you know, we all want to be someone, and it takes a lot of work to be that person you want to be. But in the meantime, you can have an item that that person would have. Does that make sense? Like it's a shortcut. So let's talk about the 4 levels of feature and benefits. I'm pretty sure if you've ever done any copywriting before, you've heard of feature versus benefits. But what a lot of people don't realize is there are actually 4 levels to it. So let's take a look at this example. So on the left is Adidas Ultra Boost. Very good shoes. Very good shoes. So on the right, I don't know what brand this is. I just kind of pulled it online. So let's just compare these 2 shoes and how you can like do copywriting for these shoes. So number 1, the very first thing you want to think about whenever you have some kind of offer or a product is what features it has. So a feature is what the product has. So for example, this has a stretchy knit upper and this has ventilation and key sweat zones. So there's no marketing in this. It's just pretty much what does this have. So, all right, so I have this coffee mug here. This coffee mug has a plastic handle. I mean, I don't think it's plastic. I think it's glass. So yeah, that's a feature of it, right? Here's a feature of my water bottle. One of the features is it comes with like a thing that can hold my bottle. So advantages. So these are the features that your product has that your competition doesn't have. So, you know, like this has a handle, but the truth is it's not really an advantage because every freaking mug out there has a handle. So here's the advantages that it has. The Continental rubber outsole for extraordinary traction in wet and dry conditions. It has Boost for incredible energy returning cushioning beneath your feet. The Boost technology is 3 times more temperature resistant than standard EVA material. So yeah, there's a lot of shoes out there, but they don't have all these incredible advantages that the Ultra Boost has. So number 3. So this is where we start tapping into marketing. It's what the product does for the customer. How does the end user, how does the customer's life becomes better because of this product? Another way of thinking about it is, so what? You have these features, so what? How does it impact my life? How does it help me? That's where you explain it in the copywriting. So here are some of the benefits. So what? Well, the shoes are more comfortable. Because of the energy returning cushioning, that means you can run faster. It also mentions something about temperature resistance. So temperature resistance means it's a more consistent run in any weather. So for someone like me, man, right now I'm in New York. One day it's hot. Another day is freaking snowing and cold. So having more consistent temperature resistance would be helpful. So one day I'm not sweating and another day I'm not freezing my feet off. So that's number 3. That's the benefit. Number 4. So man, I love this one. This is so powerful, guys. Like, you guys have to internalize this one. What is the benefit of the benefit? The ultimate way that the product can improve the customer's life. This goes beyond the shoes. There's the feature, benefits, and advantages, but how does this fit into the bigger picture? You have the benefit right here. What's the benefit of this? Your shoe being more comfortable means there's no more pains when you walk. More energy bounce back means faster running times, which means more status. More style. Like, this shoe is a pretty stylish shoe. Like, I use it outside of the gym. More style makes you more attractive to other people. All right. So if we look back at the Life Force 8, look back at the Life Force 8, what is it tapping with the marketing? Number 8 is tapping into social approval, because right now, Ultra Boost Yeezys, they're super hot. So there's social approval. Number 6, there's also to be superior winning, keeping up with the Joneses. Because, these are really nice shoes. Like, if someone's rocking some outdated bootleg shoes or some fake shoes, if you have these real legit ones, then it makes you superior in some ways. Number 4, it also taps into sexual companionship because it has status. You could tap into number 1, enjoyment of life and life extension. Because, man, if my girlfriend's dad has sciatica, which makes it really hard for him to walk without pain. So next time I see him, I really want to buy him these shoes. Why? Because it improves his enjoyment of life. Number 5, comfortable living conditions. So look, you don't have to take it verbatim. Comfortable living conditions could be like, hey, this is my home office, right? But comfortable living could also extend to just being really comfortable when you walk. So that's why I just love this framework, because every single product can tie into this somehow. So this ties back into what I was saying a few slides ago. So here's a way I think about marketing, okay? There's who the customer is right now. There's who the customer is, and there's who the customer wants to be. So you can see on the left, it's Joe Blow, your average person, that's John, and there's who he wants to be. Like every dude wants to be like James Bond, right? You got the suit, you got the gun, you got the stylish hair. Well, there's a gap between who you are now and who you want to be. And guess what? Closing the gap is freaking tough. You got to learn how to fight, you got to be smooth, you got to have a nice body. So it takes a lot of work to be James Bond. But what you can do is there's two ideas. You can buy products to help you close the gap faster, or you can buy products that make you look like you're already James Bond. So a great example is, you got to have a nice body to be James Bond. So you can buy something like P90X, a workout program that makes you, helps you close the gap between you and who you want to be. Another one is, for me, I used to drive a lot of supercars. Like I had a GTR, I had an R8. So I'm not fucking James Bond. But when I drove my R8 around Miami, it made me feel like fucking James Bond, because people were like, who the fuck is this Asian dude with this supercar? So that's kind of the idea. Like, back to my example, my coworker, she was working at the gas station, but in her mind, she really wanted to be seen as a woman of means, a woman of wealth. Well, guess what? It's really fucking hard to like instantly overnight become wealthy unless you get an inheritance or win the lottery. But she could rock the same handbag as a wealthy person. Another idea is I remember I got a friend who's like shorter than I am, and I'm pretty short. He's like 5'3", and he loves fucking basketball. And I remember at high school, every time I saw him, this motherfucker had like Jordans on, had the Jordan headband, had the Jordan jersey, had the Nike shorts. You know, this guy's never going to be an NBA, right? This guy's never going to be an NBA. Not trying to be a hater, but he's not going to be an NBA. But he bought all that stuff in high school. He didn't have a lot of money. He bought that stuff because, man, he's thinking, I'm never going to be Jordan, but at least I can rock the same shoes as Jordan. At least I can rock the same headband as Jordan. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Who is your customer avatar? Your customer avatar. So this is super, super, super useful in copywriting. A customer avatar is a fictional character that represents your ideal customer. So you can think of it like, you know, who buys Yeezys, right? Or for example, when I was marketing or promoting the lead gen engine, there's like all these different types of people that buy this course. But if you could summarize everyone into just one specific person, what would this person be like? Because the closer your customer avatar is, then the easier it is for you to write copy. Because whenever, like for example, I write copy, I'm not trying to write to 1,000 different people. Because some person might be a newbie, some person might be an expert, and it's just too confusing when you're just trying to write and hit every single prospect. Instead, write as if you're writing to just one person and one person only. So let's go through an example right now. Let's create an avatar for someone who's interested in a video game designer degree. So that's a sub niche in the education vertical, like become a video game designer. So here's a little cheat sheet for figuring out who your typical customer is. There's 3 components of it. Number 1, what are their hopes and dreams? Okay, this person signs up for this video game offer. What's their hopes and dreams? Second, what's their pain point? So they are experiencing some pains right now in life. And finally, barriers. What barriers do they have, internal, mental, or external, that prevents them from signing up? So we're going to fill out the hopes and dreams, pain points, barriers in about 1 minute. So, and then you can also put in some other details. Like for me, whenever I write copy, and it's like a really, you know, I'm not going to go through this for every single campaign I run, right? It's only for like the really big ones. So for this, I would like to really fill in as much detail as possible. So I'm going to give this customer avatar a name. His name's John. His average age is 28. He's single. Influencers, Twitch, TV, Reddit, TV shows, Game of Thrones, Battlestar Galactica, Rick and Morty, career engineer. So dude, it's not like I'm going to include Game of Thrones or Rick and Morty or Battlestar Galactica in the copy in any way. What I'm trying to do is visualize the customer avatar as an actual living, breathing, fleshed out human being, to the point where I even go on Google and try to find an image to represent them. So whenever I'm writing copy, like I will refer to this sheet so I could just look this dude in the eyes, like that's who I'm writing for. Does this make sense so far? So let's go into the other criteria. Hopes and dreams. So when someone's trying to sign up for a video game designer offer, what are their hopes and dreams? So John hopes to be able to help get a career designing video games for a living. He hopes to get a job that can make at least $65,000 a year. He works as an engineer right now and is completely bored. He hopes that working in the video game industry will give him more status, because I think saying you design video games is pretty badass, right? And he's passionate about video games and will love a career doing it. So all this, I'm, through a combination of my own knowledge and market research, is how I come up with some of this stuff. Pain points. What pain point is a customer facing? What's holding them back internally and externally? What are they scared of? So he doesn't have a programming background and did poorly in programming classes. So that's what's preventing him from signing up. Also, he doesn't have a lot of money saved up. If he were to be able to enter a video game school and get accepted, he'd need financial aid. So are you guys seeing what's going on here? There are certain internal barriers or false beliefs that prevent them from signing up for an offer. So in order for you to convince them to sign up for the offer, you have to convince them that these pain points are not a big deal. Finally, barriers and mental doubts. So this is so a great way to explain this is maybe vehicle. What I mean by this is maybe they want to be a video game designer, but they're not sure if doing it online is the best way. They're not sure if your offer is the best way of doing it. So a great example of barrier could be, hey, someone is interested in losing weight, but they may have doubts that the keto offer, or the intermittent fasting offer that you're promoting is the best way to do it because they have different options, right? So that's what I mean here. Like maybe he wants to be a video game designer, but he's thinking, hey, maybe I can go to a real university and get a computer science degree, or maybe he can start off in customer service and work his way up. So so another doubt is even if he gets a degree in this, he has some insecurity. He's not sure why someone would hire him over other people who are more qualified. So as long as these barriers and mental doubts exist, people are not going to sign up. So categorizing objections. So you have a list of all this. I like to put them into different categories. So there's internal, external, and there's the vehicle. Internal is they don't think they're smart enough. They think their lack of programming skills is holding them back. So this is all like stuff that involves them. There's external. They don't think they can afford the video game school, or they don't have time for classes. So external, it's always time and money, guys. Always time and money. The vehicle, they want to be a video game designer, but they have methods about the online education school. Or they might think a video game degree is just worthless. So once again, you need to know what these objections and false beliefs are and use your ability to copyright in order to overcome them. So here's a big question, because when it came to the video game degree, a lot of that stuff I just made up off the top of my head because I'm very familiar with the video game industry. Like I love video games, and I've had friends that are actually video game designers, so it wasn't hard for me. But how do you come up with these if you're not familiar with the industry? Because something like getting an online nursing degree, I have no idea what their hopes and dreams, their pain points and stuff are, because I am not familiar with being a nurse. I don't have any nursing friends, and I'm just not familiar. So what do you do in this case? Market research. Okay, and how do we do market research? I think the easiest way is to find comments from real people. Some sources are YouTube, Reddit, Quora, and forums. I'm going to show you guys an example. So video game degree, you guys saw here, I went to Reddit and I typed in video game degree. And if you look on the bottom, there are people asking about what it's like to get a video game degree. So will a video game degree limit me? How competitive is the job market in the video game industry, and is it worth me doing a degree? So you can see right here, there's a false belief right there. There is an objection. How this person thinks that the job market in the video game industry is too competitive, right? Here's something else interesting. I like to go on YouTube. I go on YouTube and I typed in like how to get a job in the video game industry, and I found this video that had 1.5 million views. It goes, top 10 tips for getting into the video game industry. So then I go into the comments. I love reading the comment section. And I saw this one comment. Well, I have to disagree with your first game not being a hit. Look at Five Nights at Freddy. It was Scott's first time making a game, and he didn't have any programming knowledge. Steam and Jolt are full of indie games made by regular people. He, like me. Man, YouTube comments have the worst fucking grammar. My games are not a hit, cough yet, ha ha ha, but you don't need to get hired by some big company. You can do this stuff from your own place. Just saying. So this is a fantastic comment, because there are all these objections with getting into the video game industry and getting a degree, and this person pretty much answered it for me. So, and he gave me a lot of ideas for stories. So number one, he says you can make a game. You can make a game without any programming knowledge. He also says that, hey, Steam and GameVolt are full of indie games made by regular people. So maybe a false objection is someone wants to design video games, but they don't want to work for a company, right? You can do this from your own place. So remember what I said before, that one of John's objections is he doesn't have any programming knowledge. And this guy here is like, dude, you don't need any programming knowledge. So this is great because I am not in the video game industry, so it's hard for me to actually come up with this stuff. But you see, I don't actually come up with this stuff. I know where to find this stuff, which is YouTube's a great place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an email in the next lesson. So I also go into Quora. So let's move away from the video game stuff and give you another niche like solar. So in order to find false objections or objections in general, I looked up solar energy home panels on Quora. How long would it take before having solar panels in your home break even? For a solar home panel system, is it better to buy the system or lease it? So in a way, when you're writing these 10 email sequences, right? These email sequences could be answering these common questions, because as long as these questions and these doubts are in the minds of the end user, they're not going to sign up for your offer. That's the beauty of these email sequences, because in traditional affiliate marketing, we're only using landing pages. There's only so much convincing we can do on a landing page. So here's something interesting, and this is what I said in the last section. Each part of your funnel has one main goal, right? There's the ad, you get them to click. Landing page, get them to opt in. The email funnel, get them to convert. Copywriting is a major weapon at each stage. Okay, so I hope you guys like that. Man, that was a pretty long lesson. So let's get ready for lesson 5.3 on how to actually get the conversions, how to use copywriting to get the conversions.